Picture this. It's 2015. A young Betty is browsing YouTube and comes upon a video that promises to show you how to get tons of work done every single day. Young Betty clicks on it, and in a flash is shown hacks and tips and explanations for why they struggle with studying, why they can't get out of bed in the morning, and why they aren't more productive. They feel seen, they feel inspired, and they feel like they've found the puzzle piece that they've been missing. Young Betty in the coming weeks starts implementing these tips and tricks. They get sucked into more videos promising everything from how to get better grades to how to create a successful morning routine. They dedicate hours and hours of watching and learning, and yet, after years and years of trying to implement these steps, years stuck in an endless loop of following the steps and failing, following the steps and failing, following the steps and still failing, they feel like there must be something wrong with them. They aren't putting in enough effort. They need to try harder. It's their fault. This video isn't about discrediting or saying that productivity YouTube is bad. I'm actually still a big fan of watching videos within the self-improvement genre, however, a lot of the content lacks nuance and doesn't even mention the circumstances an individual might be in that prevents them from succeeding when following one of these videos, whether those circumstances be environmental, social, or biological. The example of my teenage self, for instance, I was never able to change my behaviour regarding studying or productivity, and as these videos promised positive change, I then found myself internalising that it was my own motivation and effort that was the problem, and that was a very damaging thing for a teenager to internalise. The actual problem was that I had undiagnosed ADHD, which affects my ability to complete tasks, my ability to stay focused, and my ability to stick to a schedule, none of which I have personally been able to do without the help of medication. All of these videos required you to be able to do these things well in order to work, and as they assumed that everyone watching could focus, complete tasks, and stick to a schedule, the possibility that the tips might not work for everyone was not even brought up. These videos never mentioned mental health, they never mentioned the innate disadvantage I had, and many others have when following them. And although it was never the creator's intention for these videos to create such a big build-up of feelings in me that it was my own fault and that I couldn't succeed, that's indeed what happened. And I spent the next 5+ years watching these videos and getting angry at myself for not being motivated enough to be as productive as I should have been, as productive as these videos promised I would be. I must say that many of these productivity creators in recent years have started to acknowledge the issues with the grind culture that many of their videos promote. Many of them have moved towards talking about how to keep a balanced life and how to be a happier person, which in my opinion is a much healthier goal to aim for. That being said, the damage that myself and I'm sure many others have felt and internalised because of the toxic messages that productivity content used to portray has not disappeared. There may be another young Betty out in the world discovering the joys and pitfalls of productivity content for the first time, and no one should have to internalise the feelings that the reason that they're not succeeding is because of their own lack of motivation and effort, the way that I did. But how do we counteract toxic productivity? Well, it's not a simple question to answer. I completely acknowledge that content surrounding how to have a better life and how to be more productive can be very positive, even though I realise looking back that it was an overall negative influence on me growing up due to my innate disadvantage of having undiagnosed and untreated ADHD. I did enjoy the content, and some of the tips have been very useful, and I continue using some to this day. I also acknowledge that these creators are allowed to make whatever content they please. They most likely have not had the same disadvantages that I have, and I'm sure have struggled in their own ways in the past. Ideally, I would love to see them collaborating with professionals and advocates in the mental health and disability field to give their large audience a new perspective to hear from, to talk about how to make their content more accessible, and to acknowledge that not everyone has such an easy time succeeding in life. Now obviously, I'm not one of these creators. and I don't have a direct line of communication with any of them. And the truth is, this video isn't even for them at all. Part of the reason I felt like a failure for so many years was because all I saw online was straight A students. I only saw the top 1% of people giving advice. I never saw anyone who struggled with focusing on tasks or who couldn't concentrate for long periods of time talking about productivity. This video is for those that feel or have felt the same way as me, those that struggle and don't know why, those that want with all their heart to succeed, but no matter how much effort they put in, they never seem to. If you're one of these people, here's some advice from me to you. Life is not about grades. It's not about work. It isn't about being the best. Life is about exploration and discovery. The people you meet, the things you try, learning, growing, developing as a person. Defining your life by the metric of productivity is a waste. It's limiting and it isn't worth it. I understand that school and grades are a necessary evil most of the time, but know that if you are struggling and don't know why, that's okay. You're allowed to struggle. Everyone struggles at something or at some point. These people you see in the productivity space online have found that through the means of productivity, they can explore, discover and grow. Others find the same thing from travelling the world, or working in a particular industry, or through writing, or reading, or exercising. No one is the same in this life, and that means that a lot of your time will be dedicated to finding that thing that helps you grow, learn and develop as a person. The fact that what works for others doesn't work for you is a good thing. Everyone spends their life trying to work out what makes them happy, and the secret is that that journey of trying to find happiness and fulfillment is the very place we find it. If we could all snap our fingers and immediately be happy and fulfilled, what would be the point of doing anything? So continue watching productivity and self-improvement YouTube by all means. It's been an integral part of my own growth as a person, but don't let their life journey dictate what yours should be. Most people have something they know that they would love to do. If you're avoiding doing that thing by following others, that's okay. To each and every one of you watching this video, this exact moment is part of your journey, much like recording this video is a part of mine. Life isn't a race. It's taken me 10 years of being a viewer and 10 years of wanting to create to finally take the plunge and put myself out there. But these 10 years were also not wasted, just like none of your life has been wasted. These massive productivity creators have been creating content for a long time, and before they started, they likely had the exact same feelings that you do right now. The truth is, their journey is their own, much like yours is yours and mine is mine. I have disadvantages many people don't realise I have. I struggled for a long time while trying to be and emulate other people. But the truth is, while I struggle with things that others find success in, I have innate strengths that those people may spend their whole life trying to get better at. The message I want to leave with you is to be kind to yourself. You have a gift to share with the world that only you can, and time spent searching for it and working out what it is, even if that means working out what it isn't, is not time wasted. Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to just use this video to reflect on my own experiences with productivity YouTube and share a side of it that I'm not sure many people experience or realise that they experience because of the messages that are shown in the productivity genre. A part of counteracting the negativity that can stem from all of the expectations in reference to productivity is to have different people's personal accounts, and I hope that this video helps give another viewpoint on productivity and the potential for toxicity when disabilities and disadvantages are not taken into account. If you have your own experiences with battling toxic productivity, or you have some thoughts to share, don't forget to comment them down below if you wish to. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.